Welcome back to Clowns and Clotheslines. I don't think this episode will be as long as our past ones. I have something special in the works as I posted on the Facebook page. This should keep workers and fans alike more active. I wasn't very happy with only being able to run a few shows every couple months, so I wanted to basically make things a little bit more special in between the events. But speaking of the events, the July show, I had to do a main event change because we were not able to fit the cell in the building. So we are going to switch it to a TLC match, which should be fairly eventful. The rules of this will be no pins, submissions, tables, ladders, or chairs until everybody is released. And the way we're going to do this is we're going to handcuff somebody to each post. And ever so often they will get released. Now, we have decided to have an August show that we're going to call Stairway to Gold. This will be a ladder to contract match.
Yeah, similar to Money in the Bank. If you've ever watched WWE, you know, everyone obviously knows about Money in the Bank.
Oh, yeah.
That main event for Stairway to Gold will be a Stairway to Gold match. Circus City Wrestling's version of a Money in the Bank contest. This show, so far, is being booked on the lighter side. We'll still have a lot of great action lined up for all the fans, and just like April, just like July, we've got a lot planned for you guys. Back to the July show, that tables, ladders, and chairs match. To get a little more in depth with the rules, it will still be War Games rules. 2 members of each team will be handcuffed to the posts. 1 member from each team will start the match. Now, pinfalls, submissions, and the tables, ladders, and chairs stipulation will not be in effect until every member of both teams has been released from their handcuffs. Once every member of both teams are involved in the match, pinfalls, submissions, and tables, ladders, and chairs stipulation will go into effect. Now, this will not be elimination style. It'll be 1 pin to a fall, or 1 pin to a finish, and that will declare who the winners are. Now, on one team, you have the heavyweight champion, Brutus Dillon, and then you got the Thieves of Greatness. And on the other team, you have myself and my partner, Insane B, Sinister Circus, the Circus City Wrestling Tag Team Champions, and Kevin Storm. Now, this may confuse some of you, so I'm going to go ahead and explain it a little easier for you. The tag team titles will be on the line. The heavyweight title will be on the line. And whichever team scores a pinfall, say our team scores the pinfall, we will remain the tag team champions, and Kevin Storm will become the heavyweight champion. If their team somehow manages to score a victory on us, because I'm not going to discount their ability to pull this out. I've been in the ring with Brutus Dillon in the past in tables, ladders, and chairs matches, and he came up the winner. I mean, it is a brutal matchup, and he's brutal in that match. If they win, Brutus will remain the heavyweight champion, and the Thieves of Greatness will win the tag team championships. So that's pretty much how things will go July 5th.
Now, I want to go back to Stairway to Gold. I am happy to announce Adam Beeler has had a lot of difficulties, obviously, since he has gotten out of the hospital and all that. We are pleased to announce that we will be booking him for the August show.
Yeah, Adam has just overcome cancer, and he's got some other issues going on, and we're proud to give him an opportunity, at least. So,
well, let's head over to Under Fire. Back with Under Fire with Insane B. And how are you today, Insane B?
Not too bad, just hanging out, enjoying the nice weather today.
So we just have a few questions for you. We want to do a quick interview with you. How long have you been in the business?
Well, I started wrestling when I was 15. My cousin got in contact with somebody that had some pull in the indie pro wrestling, so we kind of got into it.
I think it's been like 9 or 10 years now.
took a quite of a long break for a while, but then some stuff started to arise and some ideas and stuff, and I decided to get back into it.
All right. Next question: who trained you?
My trainer was current TNA superstar Congo Kong. We trained at the Body Slam University.
That was in Fort Wayne, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. What made you decide to get into wrestling in the first place, as far as wrestling for yourself?
Well, Steve, me and my cousin, we've always had a passion for it because we were real young. When our grandfather was still with us, that was one of his things he liked to do, and we enjoyed sitting around and watching
WCW.
And from there, we pretty much just got the passion for it from our grandpa.
What was it like the first time that you got into the ring?
It was amazing, man. Honestly, I never thought that I would ever see myself in a position to where I could have an experience like that. And getting into the ring and actually going in the flow of a wrestling match, it's unexplainable. It's an awesome experience.
Did you have any anxieties about it?
Oh, for sure, nerve-wracking. I know it was for me.
Yeah, the anxiety is a big part. Like I do have anxiety myself, just in general. But getting into the ring before going out to get into the ring.
Right at the curtain.
You get these butterflies, and you just get a rush through your body. It's insane, man. It's awesome at the same time.
I think the best way to describe it is you get a hot and cold feeling all at once through your entire body and soul, and it's like that butterfly feeling starts eating at your stomach.
What's the biggest bump that you've ever taken?
Biggest bump I've ever taken was on one of my first bigger shows. It was like I think we want to say it was like a 6-man tag or 6 tag team match or something like that.
6-man tag.
Yeah, and we had a run-in. Some Congo Kong ran in and he attacked everybody. I took a huge power slam, man, and I have to say it's probably one of the biggest bumps I've ever taken.
What's it like being the current tag team champion?
Current tag team champions, man. It's an awesome feeling, man, just knowing that we've earned it, just building up to the point to earn it, and to be able to flash it and, say, yeah, I won this champion, and just, that's awesome.
Personally, for me, with our first match ever, our first show ever, Brandon and I teamed, and we won the tag titles our first show. First time ever teaming together.
Yeah.
And then our first time teaming it together again in over 5 years, him returning, our first show, we win tag team titles again. So I thought that itself made it even more special. The fact that we won them the first time ever teamed together, and we won them the first time him returning. For me, that's what's the most special about it.
Well, as a fan myself, I can actually say that being around all these years since before you guys even started training, that you guys have progressed beyond what you probably even thought was capable. Even you and Same B, I do remember when you first started, and I don't think you were nearly as good as even when you came back from this long break. You guys both seem to be into it a lot more focused than ever.
Right.
Now, that being said, how you feel about the upcoming July show? Because, as you know, we had to change the cage match to a TLC match.
Yeah, I was a little bummed at first, but then, I got to thinking, in a TLC match, we've got
topic. Our subject for tonight is going to be John Moxley. Now, Moxley going to AEW, did you like that, or are you against it?
With reading all the reasons and reading what he said on the Talk Is Jericho podcast, and I understand why he left. I think that he had a good spot. I don't think that he trusted the system at WWE. I know they try to tell a lot of talents, just have faith in the system. It'll get you where you need to be. He's been there. He'd been there going on 10 years, and he's been a WWE champion, Intercontinental champion, United States champion, tag team champion, Money in the Bank winner, the first SmackDown Live champion. I don't know. I think it was more about what he needed to do for him. For me, as a fan, I prefer him in WWE. I prefer that character there. I don't know that I'm totally in on this John Moxley thing. I might not know enough about it to really care either way, but I do know that I like Kenny Omega. I like Jericho. I liked AEW Double or Nothing. That was a really good show, I thought, overall. I think it lacked notoriety and star power, but it's a different, it's a choice. They give you variety. They give you something different. They give you an option. And not knowing those guys might be good for people like me. I think that John Moxley and Kenny Omega is what they're working towards, and that could be good. But I just think that I don't know. I'm kind of sour on it. I feel like he left and was a crybaby about things. He left respectfully, but I think now he's taking a massive dump all over the company and dogging every one of them, and I don't know, I'm kind of sour on it.
I think I'm completely against you in every way on this. The Shield was one of my favorite factions when they first came out. I absolutely loved them, and it's disappointing that he's getting away from Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns. However, that being said, I think that they really stunted his creative freedom in WWE, and now he's going to be able to go all out in AEW, and I have seen some of John Moxley in the past, and his creative abilities are beyond that of any writer in WWE right now. And as far as the way that he left, I don't think there's anything wrong with it, because he was poorly treated for so many years. It just built up like that, and he pretty much left saying no hard feelings. He just has no interest in being there no matter what they say to him.
Well, and I completely get where you're coming from. I feel certain ways about certain things, and for some reason I just don't care much for the move, for him leaving WWE and going to AEW. I understand, but I don't understand, and it feels weird to me, I guess.
The one thing I don't like is how AEW is only going to have a few shows here and there, and I get their marketing strategy. It is brilliant, but I would like to see more of Moxley, and I think if you watch him in AEW, you're going to start to like him better there than in WWE, because, as I said, his creative freedom is really going to boost above that beyond any WWE writer. Now,
You'll also have Moxley over at New Japan Pro Wrestling too. That's not something that you or I really watch a lot of, or at all, but it's something that we can definitely look into, knowing that he's going to be there.
I'd be interested in looking into that, see how he is. Like I said, I've seen some of his matches before he came to the WWE, and the guy was just crazy, and I loved it. That's the way it should be. Now, I only seen a little bit of Double or Nothing. No, there wasn't a ton of huge names in it, but their performances were amazing. If you know anything about wrestling, you would say the exact same thing. There was nothing really bad about it other than the fact that they went on a budget.
Well, and I feel like the thing with me, I really enjoyed the show. And I didn't watch it completely. I watched what I wanted to watch, I watched a majority of it. But I clipped out stuff I didn't really want to care to spend time watching. And I watched the majority of the matches. Cody and Dustin was an instant classic. Jericho and Omega was very good. The Battle Royal was entertaining. It was very entertaining. The women's match, the 6-man women's match, I believe was better than the 4-way. Austin McCollum being part of the 4-way surprised me. I didn't expect that. And it's always cool being surprised like that. I feel like AEW keeps telling people, oh, well, we're not trying to compete with WWE, but then you got things like what Cody did to the Throne.
They're a promotion. They're going to be going against
but
other promotions.
I feel a ton of pettiness.
Yeah.
I mean, and if you're trying to be, if you're honestly trying to compete, and you want to be above your opponent, you wouldn't stoop to low levels. I mean, it's all entertainment, so I guess you would. But at the same time, I don't get why the personal attack if you're telling us you're not trying to compete.
But you also got to look at who's heading the promotion.
You know, honestly,
you do realize that they treated Cody Rhodes and oh god, drawing blanks.
Moxley?
Yeah, they treated them very poorly.
Yeah, here's the thing, though. I think everyone's smart enough to know that had Vince stepped aside today, we would be getting a main roster version of NXT, which is just absolutely amazing. I mean, the takeovers are, bar none.
Well, it's going to be a problem
there.
where Vince is just losing his mind, and that's all there is to it, and they do need a former or current wrestler to
but
take it over.
I think another thing that is an issue is that Vince is doing what's worked for him for so many years in a day and age where the performers are not like they were then.
Yep.
You can't tell me that you have an Undertaker, you have a Steve Austin, you have a Rock, you have a Triple H. You have Randy Orton still, but he's at the point in his career where he could be gone in the next few years. You never know.
That's very true.
You don't have big shows, you don't have Canes, you don't have those guys who, with Vince's ideas and his creativity, it would work with guys like that. They could get that over. Now you have athletes. You don't have wrestlers. You have athletes. And these guys are going out and they're putting on performances that are just out of this world amazing. Things that are just so... You can't fathom how it's possible to do things like this.
But he's losing top-notch stars for a reason.
I think WWE has the talent. I think that their story...
They do currently have the talent, but they did lose
their
a lot of really
creative
good
team
talent.
Is not good. Vince is pushing ideas that he would push with a 90s roster with a 2020 roster. It's not going to work out. These guys are different performers.
I think you're going to see the difference.
There's it's not about personality anymore. It's not about size anymore. It's about athletic ability. It's about performance. It's about ability. It's about everything but personality and look.
I think in the future you'll start seeing what I'm talking about, since you have Chris Jericho and Cody Rhodes leading AEW, two former very good wrestlers. I have a feeling that their showmanship is going to outdo WWE tremendously. That's not to say that WWE is going to lose viewers or going to go out of business, nothing like that. However, I will say that I think they're going to start riding a lot better than WWE.
For me, man, I can't get mad at Jericho, but at the same time I kind of am. Him and Owens, his reason for leaving was that he and Kevin Owens had the top story or top two story in the whole company, and then they got to WrestleMania, instead of being semi-main event or main event, they were match 2, the Kill-Down match. And he felt like at that point he knew he had to get out. It wasn't going to get better than that from there because he was Chris Jericho. But you're still Chris Jericho, and you might have had probably the best story or the second best story. I don't think they should have been match 2 at WrestleMania, but you got to look at the matches that were at WrestleMania.
Maybe, but what about...
You had Reigns and Taker. You had Brock and Goldberg. Jericho Owens is every bit of just as entertaining, but when you look at it from a dollar, like a value standpoint, you got Goldberg, Lesnar. You have Jericho Owens. So I would probably put Goldberg Lesnar on later because I want my fans to pay for that. I want them to stick around and watch it. Taker Reigns main evented it. And so they should have. I mean, but that's Undertaker, Roman Reigns.
Well,
you're
Undertaker
Chris Jericho.
is one of the biggest names in the WWE.
You're Chris Jericho.
WWE.
Right. You're Chris Jericho and Kevin Owens. You had probably the top story all year, but Undertaker wasn't there all year. Goldberg wasn't there all year. Brock Lesnar's rarely there ever. So when they come in, that's what you call a special attraction. So you marquee your special attractions. You don't just put them on match 2, get it done and over with, and they're like, oh, hell, it's just match 2. I mean, it's already over with. Oh, we got them, they're gone. No, that's your main event.
But what about Cody Rhodes losing the hero?
Cody Rhodes is probably the only one that I understand why he is so upset and why he dipped out. Stardust was entertaining, but it was corny to beat hell. Cody Rhodes was a complete waste of talent. Dean Ambrose, on the other hand, he might have had all this corny shit thrown at him, but he was still top of the game.
His main reason for leaving was the leukemia skit, though.
I understand that, but sometimes they got this saying in WWE, when you get there, like, there's going to be a lot of shit thrown at you, but you're going to get a plate of shit and you got to learn to eat it and like the taste. And even he would say in other parts that they brought dumb stuff to him and he still did it because that's what they wanted. I understand that's probably crossing the line, but let's be realistic. A large majority of this country believed that the leukemia thing was a storyline to begin with and that he never really actually had cancer.
They do.
So why how can we feel sympathetic for Moxley now because he didn't want to work a storyline that we all believed was a storyline anyway?
But from his standpoint, it wasn't a storyline.
That's true. That's true, and I can understand him getting upset over that. But I feel like, I just feel like it's
well, it was the same thing with your grandma, basically. If somebody asked you to do a skit on that.
Yeah, and you know what? Given that point, yeah, I completely understand why he didn't want to. But I feel like he was a top guy. He was marquee as a top guy.
From what I'm to understand, it wasn't completely that he didn't want to do that. He didn't want to do that, but then all the other things that they did to him built on top of it.
I mean, everyone's got a breaking point. But I feel like you leave and you use the reasons for why you left. They're similar to the reasons why Cody leaves. Cody's got legit reasons for why he needed to get out. He was a 1,000% complete waste of talent. Dean Ambrose is at the top of the game. He's a former champion. He's main eventing Raw every week. He's main eventing SmackDown. He's in top marquee matches. He's got a spot and he's taken care of. His wife is there. I feel like I understand him and agree with leaving, but I also feel like there's some selfishness there, but he might deserve to be selfish.
But that's also his job, if you think about it like that. I've never held a job for 10 years straight.
I've not been on the road 300 nights a year dealing with it, so I can't say one way or the other.
You got to think about all the stress that goes behind the scenes and all that you never even hear about, that he'll never even share in an interview.
Yeah, that's true.
Vince could have done some really dirty things to him.
Well, and if you listen to a lot of shoot interviews and talk to a lot of other people, they'll tell you straight up, Vince can be very sadistic.
All right, well, that is it for our hot topic. We'll head back over to the main screen. Well, that is about it for our show, but I will say that our main sponsor for the show was Paparazzi Jewelry by Katrina. Head over to her Facebook and check that out. We also have a giveaway from that company. What was it?
It's a nice necklace. You'll have to go to her page, like, share, and leave a nice review on it. Check in on some of her live. She goes live 2-3 times a week. Participate, just say hi, show her some love, and then come to Circus City Wrestling, message us and tell us you did so. Circus City Wrestling on Facebook. You can win that necklace.
Look for our pause screens all throughout this video and you will see that necklace.